You ready? I'm Preston.
And I'm Marcus, and welcome to Filmaholics Unscripted.
On today's episode, we're reviewing Deadpool.
But first, intro.
Deadpool is a movie that's directed by Tim Miller. It's his first feature-length film, and it's starring Ryan Reynolds. It's about a guy named Wade Wilson, who after finding the love of his life, discovers that he has terminal cancer. He finds a program, joins that, and hoping to make things better.
Things don't go so well. His love gets kidnapped, and things go downhill from there, mostly.
But it's filled with comedy and raunchiness, and Marcus is not a fan of those things.
No.
A lot of things I like about this movie is just the comedic timing of things. He always has a one-liner. There's always something funny happening at any point in time. Sometimes it's raunchy, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just very self-aware humor, which I thought they nailed that. They nailed the character of Deadpool. As a fan, it was perfect. He talks the way he needs to talk. All the characters I wanted to see are in there. And Ryan Reynolds I think he was perfect as Wade Wilson. And I was very excited to see that. Now, like I said, even though it's really, really funny, there are a lot of raunchy parts, and people like Marcus find those things very offensive. I don't want to say he's easily offended, and he just doesn't like dirty things.
Well, there were moments every once in a while that I did enjoy. It's definitely fast-paced humor, a one-liner thrown in here, something funny there, but I found it a little bit far between the parts that I actually was laughing at. But when they came...
I did hear him laugh in the theater.
Yes, when they came, they were very funny. A lot of back and forth with Colossus, with Deadpool and Colossus.
Like I told you, he's kind of like the dad character in the whole film. He always has something...
It's a very dad to teenage son relationship. And
even with the girl, Colossus is... There's the protein bar. Nice takes, too. They weren't all cut up.
There was a couple parts where it was...
It jumped a bit, but it was nowhere near as bad as a lot of them.
No, it's not the shaky cam, quick cut, cheap action that you see in a lot of lower budget film. This was a lower budget film.
Especially for a superhero film.
Exactly. But no, a lot of long takes, a lot of wide takes.
They bring up the budget in the movie, too. It's great.
Yes. Like you said, a lot of self-awareness, which is... I guess very much in what the characters like, so they seem to have done a good job. I don't know personally, but it seems like they did a good job hitting on the marks that they needed to for that character.
They definitely did. So, to get into the cons with you,
a lot of raunchy humor that's not for me. It's going to be for 99% of the population, but not for me, which took away from the enjoyment. There were a lot of times where it would go for 10 or 15 minutes, and what was supposed to carry the film was the humor. There wasn't action going on at that part, and for me, it just didn't hit home. So I ended up actually feeling a little bit bored through several sections of the film where I just felt like nothing.
You seemed uncomfortable during the one.
Yeah, the one montage was very unnecessary, in my opinion. It
was supposed to show their love.
Yeah, apparently that's all love is.
Yes. Well, it was supposed to showcase through the year, and some things happen. There's some raunchy humor in it, and other than that, it's a sex scene, and Marcus was in a seat. I could tell he was not happy with that. I told him about it beforehand to warn him, but I knew going into this he was not going to be a happy camper. But he stuck through it. He's a trooper.
I tried.
Well, you didn't try. You actually did it. You got through the whole thing, and like you said, there's at least parts that you enjoy.
Yes, could have been cleaner. For me, but I guess that would kind of defeat the purpose of the character.
Deadpool is not a very clean character.
I will say they seem to have done exactly what they were trying to do. They seem to have hit on the marks they were going for. So I got to give props to the creative team involved.
Well, and like I said, first time...
I'm just not the target demographic.
No, not at all. But like I said, like the first time director for his feature film, that I think is pretty impressive. I think he did a very good job. I will agree. I also have to say, considering the fact that what happened to Deadpool last time, he had a lot of pressure on him, I think. To really
get it right.
Yeah, so I mean, I think
he makes fun of Wolverine the one scene.
Quite a few scenes.
Yeah. Does the Aussie accent and I won't tell you who.
Smooth
but it
criminals
rhymes,
down under.
Rhymes with Wolverine.
Yes,
I won't tell you who. Something like that. That's
even
the
you
thing
pulled quotes out of the movie, but
yes.
my favorite is still the T-Rex part. It's one of my favorite parts of the entire movie. And it's just real quick one-liner. So we don't want to get into too many spoilers or anything. But things that I didn't enjoy, well, I can't really say didn't enjoy. The first time I saw the film, I was with my wife, and I think the entire film was phenomenal. I liked every last second of it. It flew by. It's 2 hours long. I don't know if it felt like that for you, but
it did.
Well, for me, it definitely did not. And most people I talked to, other than Marcus, also didn't feel that way. But the second time watching it, and now this is also, it was maybe 3 days in between seeing it, so this could be why, but not all the jokes were as funny. Again, I basically knew everything that was going to happen, and it was too fresh in my mind probably for them to really have the impact, but seeing it that close together, the jokes just weren't as funny. First time through, though, I'm not really the kind of person that laughs out loud in the theater regardless, just because I think it's rude, but there were some people in there, everybody with an obnoxious laugh, they were in my theater, and they were going on the entire time. So if you don't mind raunchiness or anything like that, it's definitely going to be a movie that you should check out and that you'll definitely like.
One thing I do want to talk about is the acting. Superhero films are often, they're considered popcorn movies, but the performances, I gotta admit, were actually all around very, very solid.
I told you, the drama scenes were going to be well done.
Yeah, no, not just the funny moments, but also the dramatic moments.
No, when he finds out and he's, I told you the other day after we saw it, I love the part where he's talking about tracing the outlines of her face as if it's the first time he's ever seen it, and she's over here thinking of the planning for
trying to save his life, and he's already saying, "I want to remember these last few moments."
And I thought that part was really well done.
Yeah, the villain is very much a cliche, but it's supposed to be that way. They know that's the way it is. And
well, they talk about plenty of cliches in the
yes,
film, but
so it's not a problem, because in maybe a different action film, if the villain had a British accent and was very cliche
in the opening credits,
exactly.
They said.
But it's not a problem here because they know it and they go with it and they make it part of the film.
All right, for a rating, I'm kind of torn between two roads here. So if it was just an average action film or anything like that, I'd probably only give it a 3 out of 5. It's well done, well made, good acting, and for the budget, it's all good. But for a Deadpool film or a superhero movie in general, if you're a Deadpool fan, this movie is the movie to see. So I'm going to have to give it a 5 out of 5 in that regard. It's just amazingly well done, and I think it definitely deserves a 5 out of 5 for that aspect.
Not being a fan of the character, not knowing anything about the character, and only having the film to base it on, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. There were yes, 2 out of 5. That's as good as I can go.
Man. Either way, if you go see this movie, stay for after the credits. The first time I saw it, I did not stay for after the credits. Ironically, the person who gave it a 2 out of 5 wanted to stay for after the credits.
I wanted to see if it tied into the rest of the universe.
And Deadpool, basically, you are targeted for that one.
Yeah, the end credit scene was one of my favorite parts from the entire movie.
It was very well done. It was pretty funny, and make sure you stick around to watch it.
If you liked this review and would like to see more, please like and subscribe.
Next episode, we're going to be doing something that we're going to call Cinema Trivia, where one of us will quiz the other on a older movie. Obviously, because we can't do ones that aren't out yet.
Until next time, so long.